"Any daughter you want," the greedy father said. He took the obese girl's hand. Martha Dunn stood in the center of her father's parlor while three ranchers evaluated his daughters like livestock at auction. Her father gestured toward her two younger sisters, slim, smiling, eager, and spoke as if Martha weren't there. "Choose any daughter among these three," he said, his voice loud enough for the neighbors outside to hear. Then Samuel Garrett, the wealthiest man in the room, stepped forward. He looked at Martha, not her sisters. He extended his hand, and her father's face went pale. But Samuel's choice wasn't kindness. It was a silent transaction, a calculated decision. And in that moment, Martha understood something chilling. She wasn't being rescued. She wasn't being spared. She was being selected, for a reason she didn't yet know. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to the channel and drop a comment letting us know where you're watching this story from. Martha had learned long ago not to expect much from her father, but she had not expected this. The parlor had been cleaned that morning. The chairs were arranged just so. The good china set out on the side table, the pieces her mother had brought into the marriage. Her father had been pacing since dawn, adjusting his collar, smoothing his hair, checking his reflection in the small mirror by the door. He had told her sisters to wear their best dresses. He had told Martha nothing. She stood near the doorway, hands folded at her waist, watching as three men entered the house. Ranchers. She recognized two of them from town. Mr. Hendricks, who owned land near the river. Mr. Cole, whose cattle grazed on the eastern plains. The third was Samuel Garrett. Everyone knew Samuel Garrett. He owned land that stretched from the river to the foothills. He had cattle, horses, hired hands, and a reputation for fairness. He was also a widower. His wife had died nearly 3 years ago. People still spoke of her kindly. Her father greeted the men with a smile that didn't quite reach his eyes. He gestured for them to sit. He poured whiskey into short glasses. He talked about the weather, about cattle prices, about the state of the roads leading into town. He laughed too loud. He refilled their glasses before they were empty, and then he turned toward his daughters. Emma and Caroline stood near the window, their faces bright with anticipation. They had been told what this was, a negotiation, a marriage arrangement, an opportunity. They had been preparing for weeks, new ribbons in their hair, dresses altered to fit perfectly, smiles practiced in the mirror. Martha had not been told anything. She had simply been told to be present, to stand quietly, to not embarrass the family. Her father's voice filled the room. It was loud, confident, the voice of a man conducting business. "Gentlemen, I have 3 daughters, fine girls, healthy, capable, raised properly." He gestured toward Emma first, his hand sweeping in her direction like a showman presenting an act. "This is Emma. She's 17, pretty as a picture. She can sew, cook, and keep a fine house. She's got a sweet temperament, never a cross word." Emma smiled and lowered her eyes modestly, just as she'd been instructed. Her father moved on to Caroline. "And this is Caroline, 15, sweet-natured, good with children. She's got a gentle touch. She'll make any man a fine wife." Caroline blushed and clasped her hands in front of her, tilting her head just slightly.